I never knew that I would need Dragon Ball The Breakers so much in my life. To be completely honest with you guys, I was low-key mocking this game since its first trailer. Who thought about mixing Dragon Ball with Dead by Daylight concept, huh? What's next, like Chainsaw Man karting, Bleach dancing game, One Piece Battle Royale? For some reasons, Dead by Daylight is quite popular in Japan. For some reasons, you can even find the tiny toys of Dead by Daylight generators and stuff in gacha boxes. Japanese just love slaughtering innocent people, I guess. For those who don't know, Dragon Ball The Breakers is a new Dead by Daylight clone. There are survivors and there is one raider that wants to murder you, simple as that. However, the developer team of Dragon Ball The Breakers is so ambitious and experimental that they made me love this game. No jokes here, I never expected to be this hooked to this silly game. This game is just super fun, and especially if you play as Raider, shooting Kamehameha, feeling like a Dragon Ball villain, murdering innocents is just fun. The developers implemented so much new ideas and mechanics into the game that they made me question Bandai Namco's budget planning, to be honest. The content is so lacking that Bandai Namco's care becomes too obvious. If this game had a bigger budget and more care of Bandai Namco, this could have been a big surprise hit. Let me tell you the details of this surprising new Dead by Daylight of angry men going blonde to defeat edgy aliens. Dragon Ball The Breakers is a must-play for Dragon Ball fans. At least take a look or give it a try with your friends, but if you're a fan of Dead by Daylight or horror games and movies, well, it might not appeal to you at all. Its basic gameplay is 7 vs 1, meaning these 7 survivors are trying to accomplish their objectives, while the Raider, either Frieza, Cell or Majin Buu, will try to hunt these 7 survivors or destroy the objective points to win. As lore-wise, it takes place in past, present and future, as Time Patroller Trunks shows itself once again and finds our time-drifted character. As we find ourselves in a time tier, we also meet with Bullman Oolong being hunted by Perfect Cell at that point. Time Patroller Trunks guides us to the base of their operations, and from that we queue for the matches, dragged into the time tiers over and over again. Even during the loading screens, the developers calls us quite unlucky since our characters are dragged down this time tier over and over again. There, the most absurd, silly but insanely fun survival starts. There's nothing, to be frank, survival about Dragon Ball The Breakers, to be honest. I mean, you never ever feel that thrilling tension. You can shake your butt to seduce a raider, do Kaioken rush to get away quickly, use the powers of different Z fighters to earn some time or create pressure onto the raider, and much more. It can turn into a survival game for the raider itself if all 7 survivors played together, plan together, and use the power of friendship of 7 Dragon Balls to summon Shenron. There are so much unique ideas implemented that it is just fun. I would like to speak more about the Raiders since they are the best aspect of this game in my opinion.
所詮私の敵ではないのです。
As I mentioned before, the budget of Dragon Ball The Breakers feels quite low. Despite being so, I think the developers did quite a good job here. They deserve an applause. We can queue as Raiders also, but since nearly all of the players queue as Raiders, you might end up playing as Survivor for 3 or 4 matches before you can queue or you can find a match as a Raider. If you queue as a Raider and then find a match as a Survivor, you gain 1 priority point for the Raider, meaning that you will have a better luck next time you queue. It's mostly 3 to 4 matches of Survivor to 1 Raider on PlayStation Japan servers, so you might have a different ratio where you live. Right now there are 3 different Raiders, Frieza, Cell and Buu, and I saw a rumor about Vegeta to be implemented in the future. I guess as it's Saiyajin and Great Ape form, but when you think about all the villains of Dragon Ball universe, 3 villains are quite lacking. I guess they either spread out the development map to increase the lifespan of Dragon Ball The Breakers, but this development choice could also be the end of it. Anyways, depending on your choice, you start as the first form of that raider, wander around the map to find an innocent NPC or a player, attack it, and suck its life force to evolve. The real deal fun, bullying the weak gameplay starts when the first evolution is achieved. Majin Buu appears from his egg, Frieza becomes buffed as hell, and Cell turns the whole experience into war hentai. With the second form achieved, it's time to hunt some survivors, while they collect these time keys from each map to summon the time machine to correct the time flow that will erase us from the existence. The clock is ticking, but don't worry. Raiders are tough, raiders are strong. So strong that they can destroy one area of the map by each evolution. You can literally erase one part of the map even if that map's key is activated or not. This move will shorten the session time, but you can also kill some of the survivors if they cannot escape from there. With all of his resources, NPC and Dragon Balls are gone. I would also recommend to use your Raider's passive abilities to locate any nearby survivors and ambush them, change into the third form to finish their futile struggle. Although each rival can achieve their final form to turn this experience into a pure bloodbath, it is quite rare to see any Raider achieving that form. During my 10 hours of gameplay time, I only saw twice or maybe 4 times of final form of a Raider, and those were either Cell or Friezas. Majin Buu and Super Buu doesn't even require to change into Kid Buu to finish the survivors. It is that kind of a strong of a pink motherfucker. On the other hand, beware of the gathered Dragon Balls, since survivors can summon Shenron and wish for either someone to go final form to kick your Raider ass, or their whole party gets stronger by 1 level. I've never seen it throughout my journey, but Raiders can also summon Shenron to get stronger. Just imagine the fun you would have with such power. Man, this game literally turns you into a power-drunk maniac sometimes. On the other hand, survivors can use Transpheres, namely the essences of different Z fighters from Goku to Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, Vegeta, Yamcha, Tien and Trunks, and it seems that Android 18 was only achievable as pre-purchase gift. Maybe she will be added later on. To obtain these, you need to spend your hard-earned in-game money or your Dragon tier tickets on gacha gambling, which is also be done if you are rich and purchase microtransaction coins. Currently, there is a 5-star event of Goku, Gohan and Vegeta that can grant special, unique move of that character, and Dragon Ball The Breakers give 1 free ticket that you can spend for your liking. In my case, I picked Kaioken Rush, which is Goku, which can be used both as an escape mechanism or to stun lock and attack the Raider for a short time. There is no need to buy any gachas whatsoever with microtransactions since there is no competitive matches implemented. However, more the skills, better the flow of the whole gameplay gets, and with 3 Raiders, 3 different maps and only 8 to 9 Transpheres with the vast world of Dragon Ball from the first series to Dragon Ball Super, it is quite lacking. Players can also play as Bulma Oolong and can also unlock a shotgun wielding Dragon Ball farmer when they hit the end Dragon tier level. However, it is quite still lacking. Dragon Ball The Breakers is fun, but content wise, it is quite shallow in terms of Dragon Ball also. Mr. Popo or Hercule can be added as playable characters, Broly, Cooler or even Beerus can be added as raiders, maybe some dinosaurs or something that is matching with Dragon Ball universe can be added to the maps to make things even funnier, or maybe 2 raiders that are competing against each other versus 7 survivors can be a thing too. Just think it like that. While Frieza is hunting for your ass, Cell appears, beats Frieza and then sucks your life with his hentai tail. It might be quite a good chaos there, but first things first, this game needs more content, more Transpheres, more customizations. You might find yourself playing with same skills and moves over and over again if you have no luck by the gacha drop rates, and that can make you get bored quite quickly. Another big and maybe a huge problem of Dragon Ball The Breakers is there is no cross-platform, no cross-save or cross-region matchmaking. That means every server, every console is separated, PC platform and Steam included. Means that by some platforms and regions the matchmaking can take a lot of time. As far as I've searched a bit, most of the players are divided either on PC and PlayStation, so my advice would be search first. There are currently around 2000 players on Steam, but I actually don't know if Steam's system also divides players by their region either. I get the region and server separation, but No cross-platform is a big no-no for such games, and this needs to be implemented as soon as possible if you were to ask me. Cross-save might be also a good alternative since a lot of people also seem to purchase it for Nintendo Switch. Since Dragon Ball The Breakers is only $20, with cross-platform I think it can gather the budget that it requires to be developed even further. It is fun, it has potential to go even beyond Super Saiyajin 3, but we are talking about Bandai Namco here, which is infamous with their anime games and also their server connections. Dragon Ball The Breakers is super fun to play as a raider. Survivor experience needs to be improved, but it is one of the most unexpected releases of this year that I was low-key expecting it to be a flop.